Welcome back to ML Miller Frights, where we're continuing to count down the best in horror between October 1st, 2023 and September 30th, 2024. We're up to number 29. Nothing beats a good twist in a horror movie where all expectations are upended and it takes the film in an entirely different direction. That's what happens in the following films, and it made them all the better for it. Here's my pick for number 29. It may be shorter than most films, but it sure packs one hell of a punch. Milk and Cereal was released on August 8th, 2024, and is streaming on YouTube from That's a Bad Idea's YouTube channel. And it's directed by Curry Barker. I'll provide the link below where you can watch the entire thing. A pair of YouTube pranksters, Milk and Seven, played by writer-director Curry Barker and Cooper Tomlinson, try to prank each other for a birthday party with horrifying results. How's the acting? Well, since no one in the cast is recognizable, the film does have an air of legitimacy. Much of the dialogue is natural, and while occasionally things are said to move the plot along, most of the acting feels as if it isn't rehearsed. The two leads, Barker and Tomlinson, also have a likable back and forth between them, and the sense that their acting only shows up in the latter portion of the film when shit gets real. Does the found footage seem authentic and untouched by additional production? Unfortunately, Milk and Cereal has slight musical cues to suggest tone here and there. For me, this always takes away from the feeling of authenticity. Even if those who survived the events that occur in this film edited this footage together from the various sources of media the film is made of, the addition of music wouldn't really make any sense. The film is made up of footage from multiple cameras and flashes back and forth between two different timelines from both Milk and Seven's perspective. But this was edited as such that it was never confusing. So I guess there's an omniscient editor putting this film together, but I never felt there was footage used that wasn't captured by the two cameras. Therefore, it's a technically tight film aside from the music, which is a technical manipulative cheat in my found footage rulebook. What stops them from dropping the camera and getting the hell out of there? The guys are YouTube influencers, always hoping to catch reactions from their pranks. So filming everything just seems second nature to them and part of the show, as setting up the prank is all part of the process. Even when things get nuts, because one or both of the actors believe things to be a prank, filming everything is never seen as inappropriate. Is there an up-nosed Blair Witch confessional or a wrecked drag-away? There are confessionals of sorts from both leads as they tell the viewer about the prank they're setting up, so the up-close confessional seems all part of the show. Thankfully, there are no wrecked dragaways. Nothing ruins a found footager than the tired and cliched final dragaway shot. The final shot in Milk and Cereal is shocking, nevertheless. Does anything actually happen? The film runs a brisk hour and 2 minutes. The plot moves along at a nice speed, with all kinds of pranks, backstabbings, action, and plot twists going on. Milk and Cereal is never, ever boring, and a lot happens in the runtime. Does it add anything to the subgenre, and is it worth watching? Milk and Cereal is a good one worth seeking out. While most of the time I hate films about influencers, Milk and Seven proved to be interesting to watch. The characters are engaging, the film has a great way of raising the stakes by the minute, and does a wonderful job of revealing just enough information to make you anticipate the other shoe to drop, and then adds a new twist or two to the story, making it a difficult movie to predict. I guess it was made for less than $800, so it's an example of low-budget but high-quality work. As things spiral out of control as a result of these pranks, Milk and Cereal ends up telling an interesting and surprisingly unique tale of how far is too far in terms of friendly pranks between friends. After watching Milk and Cereal, I ended up checking out some of this comedy writing team's other shorts and clips on their YouTube and Instagram pages called That's a Bad Idea. These guys are both deeply demented and genuinely funny. It may not be your kind of humor, but it is mine. Reminiscent of skits from I Think You Should Leave, The Kids in the Hall, and The Whitest Kids You Know, That's a Bad Idea goes into some very wrong places and pushes the boundaries of good taste and PC values against the wall and has their perverse and merry way with them. If you're looking for some very twisted humor, check out their YouTube page, which I've listed below right before the comments. Tubi's full of horror films to pick from these days. Sometimes I just have fun picking films for my queue, knowing I'll never get to them all. Still, I try, and I was glad I took a chance on this little shocker that took some unexpected turns along the way. Lowlifes was released on April 11th, 2024, and is streaming on Tubi as a Tubi original. It's directed by Tesh Gutakonda and Mitch Oliver, and written by Al Kaplan. Lowlifes begins like most horror movies do. A breathless guy races through the woods only to meet with the blade of an unseen killer. After that dude is taken care of quickly, we cut to a family of 4 camping in what we can assume is the same woods. This is an extremely typical family with the straight-laced patriarch, Keith, played by Matthew McCall, cooking up some barbecue, doting mom, Kathleen, played by Elise Levesque, rebellious teen Amy, played by Amanda Fix, and the spunky youngster, eager to gain dad's approval, Jeffrey, played by Josh Zaharia. It's not soon after the typicalness of the family is established and all the cliches are addressed that another cliche shows up in the form of a pair of hick locals, Vern, played by Richard Harmon, and Billy, played by Ben Sullivan, who are looking for their brother Melior, who we can assume is the dead guy from the beginning. But they still have time to threaten the family with a little hillbilly hospitality. But soon after the cast is established, Lowlifes switches gears and becomes a bit more unpredictable, breaking some cliches and addressing some new ones, making what first felt like a city folk being terrorized by hillbillies' tale into something completely different. I don't want to reveal the twist of Lowlifes, though the reveal does come pretty early in the story. It does separate the film from the rest of the herd and makes it a bit more unpredictable as expectations are flopped. So while I kind of saw the twist coming, I still appreciated it when it did indeed happen. What transpires is a fairly gory and relentless little movie where the entire cast literally tears each other apart. The gore is not over the top, but there's a lot of death and blood to go around here. I also felt the lead performers were great in their respective roles. Matthew McCall has a Jake Gyllenhaal look to him that makes him look respectable one minute and out of control the next. But it's Amanda Fix's Amy that goes through the most twists and turns here, and she molds those emotions sharply. I also have to note the exceptional performance of Brenna Llewellyn, one of the local girls who shows a lot of grit in a very physical performance. And it was interesting seeing Richard Harmon in a smaller role. Harmon often plays the creepy guy who is not David Dastmalchian, yet like Dastmalchian, Harmon seems to put a lot of thought and effort into every character role he takes. Lowlifes turned out to be better than expected in terms of acting, plot twists, and all-out production. It's listed as a Tubi original, and while not all of those are good, this is one of the better ones I've seen so far. It's a film that has unexpected bite to it that will make you flip and flop as to who you want to survive, if any of the cast at all. While the city slickers versus country folk battle has been done before, Lowlifes delivers something a little different, and I can appreciate that. Once again and always, feel free to agree, disagree, or how about you play along at home and give me your own picks for your favorite horror movies. It's October, so let's talk horror. Come back tomorrow for the next level in the Best in Horror Countdown. Be sure to hit all of those pertinent bells and whistles down below, and you'll never miss a post. Happy Halloween, folks. You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant
style.